Hi friends, this is Janine Pettit, founder of Girl Camper, editor-in-chief of Girl Camper magazine, and brand ambassador for Go RVing. We are talking about packing and organizing your camper. The first tool to getting that done properly is understanding what your cargo carrying capacity is. I'm going to show you right now where to find that information. My cargo carrying capacity label. On my Max RV, it's on the outside of the trailer. On some RVs, it's posted on a yellow label inside the door. Just because there's room for it doesn't mean you need to take it. You don't want to be that person rolling down the road with cargo doors flapping open and strapped on excess gear flying off the back end of your RV. How many grocery bags full of food do you have in your RV? Also, keep in mind that before you even begin packing, you have to add the weight of the water in your freshwater holding tank, the weight of your battery on the tongue of the RV, as well as the propane tanks, which, when full, weigh 37 pounds each. So take that number that the manufacturer gives to consumers and deduct those non-negotiables I just talked about. Battery. Deduct that. Now you've got the real number of what you can put inside your camper. Once you've determined your must-haves, you're going to play a little game where you guesstimate what they weigh. So look at those must-haves laying out in the driveway and figure out what's your heaviest item here. So figure out what the biggest, heaviest things weigh and get a general idea of what your essentials weigh. Now you can concentrate on your indoor necessities. Let's talk about the kitchen stuff. So I like to choose things that do double duty. I use a percolator because it also makes a great kettle for quick hot water. Another thing in the kitchen that does double duty is a magic bullet. So I went with the magic bullet instead of a blender. I can make a morning smoothie. I can make an evening margarita in it. It's also kind of cool as a little mini food processor. I throw a bunch of chopped herbs in it and I make a salad dressing or a marinade. Another great kitchen double duty item for me is the electric skillet. I love this thing because I can cook in it. Then I can use it as a warming tray until I'm ready to serve. I can get all the food ready. I can turn that thing on to low. I could cook a pot roast in this. I've made soup in mine. I've even made a cake in mine. So look at your kitchen items. Try to assess your needs in the kitchen and look for items that do double duty. Okay, let's move on to the actual food you carry in your cabinets. This is going to add weight to your RV pretty quickly. Heavy items like canned goods should be stored on a lower shelf or in a rolling drawer. Now let's talk about clothing. Clothing is something that may not add up in weight in the same way kitchen items might do, but as far as gear goes, it's going to add up in terms of bulk. So what I did is I started going over to this sailboat style of packing your RV, which is basically a 12 by 12 packing cube. These hold a lot of clothes. You fold your t-shirts flat and you stack them up and then you turn them on their sides and you put them in the 12 by 12 cube. Now when you're looking down on top of that 12 by 12 cube, you can just see, here's all my t-shirts, here's all my shorts, and you can pull out what you need. Now another thing is I stopped using my clothing hanger. In my camper, in my RV, I have a clothing rack, and for the first year or two I had it, I was always carrying ironed blouses in there, and I'm like, how often do I really use an ironed blouse? And it keeps me from seeing what's on my top shelf. So now I actually use that bar to dry a towel on or something like that. I don't use it for clothing anymore. So it's really great having that bar now just to put a towel over. The second step in packing and organizing your RV is determining what will go where. So you've got three choices here. Number one, you can put stuff inside the RV. Number two, you can put the storage under the RV in the belly down there. And number three, you can put it in your tow vehicle. I like to save the inside storage in my RV for things I use inside and the outside storage for things that I only use outside. It really keeps the dirt and the sand out of the RV and leaves me with a lot more living space inside. But think about where you want to put these things. Put it in the RV, put it in the belly of the RV, or what you're going to keep in your tow vehicle. Now, lastly, talking about getting organized, you can figure all of this out on paper while you're waiting for that RV to be delivered, and I've done this a number of times. Here's another thing about the RV. So you get out there, you start using it, and it starts to fill up. So at least once a year, you're going to need to reevaluate your RV storage, and you're going to have to go through it, getting rid of those cute little things you bought that are now just in your way and taking up all kinds of space on the countertop, and they're not really being used. So really, once a year, go through. I just did that. I fixed a lot of problems in my RV by getting a container system. So after you do that big clean out, there's one last thing I want you to think about, and that is the things that you store in your RV, they may be there, but they're not always easily accessible. So this year I decided that the things I wanted in my RV but weren't really accessible just needed to be rearranged. I wanted to keep those things, but I wanted to be able to get to them easier. So I organized that upper and lower cabinet. So now I can pull that out. I can take it to the picnic table when I'm setting the table. I know when I get where I'm going, everything is still going to be in place. So I hope that you have enjoyed talking with me about packing and organizing your trailer. I'd love to see your ideas, so be sure to head over to girlcamper.com and GoRVing.com and find out how you can hit the road.